Okay, I'm really struggling this week. So
It's a hard week.
Yeah, I just don't. I feel like I get it and the readings and everything, and then we get to like this, and I'm like, what? I don't know. Okay, what did you get for number one? I got B, and B.
Yeah, B.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to lead. He put a comment that I need to make sure that somebody else leads.
Okay.
So, do you want to lead?
Okay, I can lead. All right, number one for GDP, that's B. It's used to monitor the performance of the overall economy and is the single best measure of a society's economic well-being. And that is one you guys are going to want to mark as an important question, just so you know for future tests.
Okay.
Two, according to the circular flow diagram, GDP, I put down C, can be computed as either the revenue firms receive from the sales of goods and services or as revenues they receive from the sales of goods and services, which makes no sense because it repeats itself. I emailed the teacher on this one because I said, none of these are correct. And like I said, I already did the group quiz. I got one wrong out of 20. I don't know which one. But on this one, he emailed me the correct answer. He said it's C. And I told him, I said, well, the homework assignment does not show what the quiz shows. The homework assignment is worded wrong. And I thought that he should be aware of that so they can correct it. But the answer is, the other three are wrong, so C is correct.
Okay, yeah, I was confused on that. I was like, B, maybe. So, okay, good. I'm glad you already got that squared out.
Yeah. 3, gross domestic product measures, A, income and expenditures. 4, in the GDP, accounts production equals A, income.
Yep.
5, suppose that an economy produces 20,000 units of good A, which sells at $3 a unit, and 40,000 units of good B, which sells at $1 per unit. Production of good A contributes, I put B, 3/2 as much.
That's what I put.
Everyone good so far? Okay, I'm just gonna imagine everyone is saying yes. All right, moving on. Number 6, this is one I really struggled with and emailed for help. And his email response was giving me the answers. So I know the answers, but I need to be able to help figure out why.
I put D. Is that wrong?
No, that is correct.
Yay, okay.
And I did meet with a tutor on this because I thought I need to understand why it's D. And the reason why it is D is that the $9, which is, wait, hold on, I have to understand my notes.
I did because of the GDP, and then I did the $9. Where's the $9?
And yeah, then, $9 is not domestic.
Yeah,
so it's not GDP. That's what my tutor said. She said GDP, which we know has to be gross domestic. It has to be within the nation. So the $9, that is earned by citizens abroad. So that cannot be calculated on here. So you have that one, and then the $5 one, which is the next one, income foreigners earn here, which we do count that is domestic. So you're taking the difference, the 9 minus the 5, and that's how you get the 204. You add the $4. Does that make sense?
I did the opposite. I added the 9 and I minus the 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Add the 9 minus the 5, so you have $204.
Okay, I was like, wait, I did opposite. Okay, so you did add the 9 and you minus the 5 and then the 4. Okay, so yep. I did get that one right. And then one, I have no idea. I mean, I did C, but I don't know.
Yeah, C is correct. Okay. So a farmer sells 5 pounds of pecans to a Smith's Fresh Pecans for $10. Smith's Fresh Pecans resells 3 pounds for $4.50 per pound. The remaining pecans are shelled and canned and sold for a total of $8. Taking these transactions into account, how much is added to GDP? So I did the $4.50 times 3, and then I added that to the $8. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to make sure my notes make sense to me, which is 2150.
The only question I had about this one is I swear in the reading it said that it didn't care about resold items. Does this, I remember reading that. That's what I was thrown off on this one because it was saying
You're right. You're right about that in the sense that the original state of where it's sold. So if it's like an input, if it's a product being used as an input, you only count it when it's actually being sold to like consumers. Does that make sense?
So from the distributor to the store doesn't matter, but from the store to the client is the one that you are counting. That resell counts, but not the, like if I were to buy those, what is it, pecans and then sell it for another price, that price wouldn't count. The only price that counts is from when I purchased from the store. Is that right?
That's kind of my take on it, but I could be wrong.
Okay. That's why I was confused because it was saying about resale that they don't care about resale. It was care is when it was produced. And I know that the $8 is, yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever. Well, it's 2150.
Okay. Number 8. In 2014, a farmer grows and sells $3 million worth of corn to Big Flake Cereal Company. Big Flake Cereal Company produces $8 million worth of cereal in 2014, with sales to households during the year of $7 million. The unsold $1 million worth of cereal remains in Big Flake Cereal Company's inventory at the end of 2014. The transactions just described contribute how much to GDP for 2014? I put C, 8 million.
I put C.
Okay. Well, we will just go with that.
And that goes back to that same thing that the inventory is like if you're selling back to yourself. So that's what. Okay. So the 3
I know
million.
that's where it's confusing because that's inventory. Inventory is investment. That's investment is one of those 4.
Okay.
That equals GDP.
9, I don't know.
9B. Consider 2 items that might be included in GDP. 1, the estimated rental value of owner-occupied housing. And 2, purchases of newly constructed homes. How are these 2 items accounted for when GDP is calculated? I could be wrong, but I put B. Item 1 is included in the consumption component of GDP because they even say that anything that's rental is considered consumption as part of GDP, while 2 is included in the investment.
Hold on, let me look at my notes because that's the one that I put B and then I was like, no, it's D because I know that anything with housing was part of investment. But
it is for sure in part of GDP. They say rental is, that's why your house and mortgage is considered consumption, I think, because it's like rent money. They count a mortgage payment as rent. You don't count it as investment.
Sorry, I'm looking in my notes, and under investment, that includes business capital, and then it includes residential capital. And it says landlords, apartment buildings, homeowners, personal residence. That's where, and then it says purchase of new house equals investment. But it just says landlord's apartment building. And then
that's an income. Income is different than paying rent.
It was under investment though, when in the book it's under investment. That's why I'm not. The estimated rental. It says number 1 is included in the consumption spending by households on goods and services, with the exception of purchasing new housing. Goods include durable goods. This one I don't know.
I know I got one wrong and I have no idea which one I got wrong. So maybe put a question mark next to that one. Because I don't know.
We can ask, what did you guys get? Oh, you're on mute.
That's why. So I took number 1, the estimated rental value. So it said in the book that if you own your own house, you don't really pay any rent or mortgage, but then you have to estimate what the rent would have been if you would have rented. which means it falls under consumption.
Okay. All right. So it is B. Is that what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome. Did you get anything different on any of the other ones?
No.
Okay.
I thought you heard me all the time.
No, sorry. I thought you were muted on purpose because the other person, he is muted because he's at work. So he's trying to do this without getting in trouble.
Okay.
Okay, number 10. The city of Ann Arbor, Michigan buys a police car manufactured in Germany. In the GDP accounts, this transaction is included in, I put B, government expenditures and imports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I put D. Okay.
But that
Because
doesn't
it's money
affect
being
the GDP, right?
Wait, sorry, what?
It won't affect the GDP.
Okay.
Because it's money being spent
note.
on the government, it has to be government expenditures.
Mm-hmm. But then the imports will be like a negative effect on GDP, so it will be like even out, if I understand it correctly.
Because they gave an example. It says a family buys $40,000, a $40,000 car from Volvo, a Swedish car maker.
Mm-hmm.
So the transaction increases consumption by 40,000 as an import. That's the example that it had in the book.
Yeah, that's consumption because that's a personal purchase. It's for a family. This is a government purchase because it's a police car.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the city that's buying it, not an individual.
You guys are smart. Okay, I didn't think about what it was. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, 11. In the economy of whatever, in 2015, Jackie, get out. Consumption was $3,000. Exports were $1,200. GDP was $8,000. Government purchases were $1,200, and imports were $600. What was Telecast's investment in 2015? Number 11, I put A, $3,200.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. 12. What were country A's imports in 2010? I put D, $120.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
13. The GDP deflator for years subsequent to the base year measures the change in, I put A, nominal GDP from the base year that cannot be attributable to a change in real GDP.
I didn't understand it at all. I don't understand this question.
Me neither.
So this one is just basically the formula for GDP deflator, and the formula for GDP deflator. What's the formula again?
It's the, what is it called? The nominal over the real.
Yeah, times 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the nominal GDP from the base year, because you have to always have a base year, right? Cannot be. Wait, hold on, let's see. I have to reread the question so I can make sense in my head. Subsequent to the base year, measures the change. I don't know, actually. I don't remember. I did this like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember it.
I just don't understand this question at all.
Okay, go. Guys, can you hold on 1 second? I need to tell my son to take our dog out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, fine. So for year subsequent, what the heck is subsequent? Come after. Okay, so the deflator for years that come after the base year, so if it's 2014, measures the change in, I don't know, the change in real.
Subsequent means after, right?
What was that?
The word subsequent means after
It
base
means
year,
after.
right?
So it says the deflator for the years that come after to the base year measures the change in, I don't know what it measures the change in. I kept looking up the definition and it just said the deflator is the price. It measures the price I don't know where my definitions are. It says reflects only prices of goods and services. Measures the current level of prices relative to the level of prices in the base year. That's what it says.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Struggled with this question.
Okay. Maybe we can see if Bryson gets on and knows because I don't get this one.
Okay.
And you're not sure which one you got wrong, and then you weren't sure why it's right, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to number 14 then. In which year was this country's nominal GDP the highest? I put D.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
This country's output grew, I put C, 15.4% from 2016 to 2017.
Okay.
I put D.
You
You
get,
did D?
Yeah.
I got nothing
This is-
because I didn't understand what the company's output growth is.
This is another one that I asked the teacher on.
Oh, wait.
So why is it the 15.4?
Let me see. I'm trying to see if I
says-
wrote some of the math, but I didn't finish it.
It says output, so it might be the total amount of units. Let's see.
I just don't even understand. The country's output grew, so
So the base year is 2015. So you want to figure out the CPI of each year, right?
what's CPI?
Is it not called CPI or was it? Oh, maybe that's another. Okay, CPI is the same thing as GDP deflator. Sorry, CPI GDP is the same thing, but you'll find that out next week. So you want to find the GDP deflator.
So for 2015, the deflator I got was 100. But for 2016, I got 112.8. 2017, 138.9, and 2018, 177.8. I got up to that point. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do to get the output, the growth in the output.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Sorry I'm late.
What did you
That's
get?
okay.
My internship. So
That's okay. We're struggling on a couple of problems. Maybe you can help clarify them for us.
okay.
Should we go
Which
back
ones do you have
to
questions
13?
about?
Oh, you have questions too? Well, hopefully it's not the same ones that we have questions about.
Okay.
How about number 13? Did that one make sense to you?
Let's see. Actually, that was actually the one I had a question on.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay. So what did you think it was?
So I did my best guess and I actually said D.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I said A. I already took the quiz. I know I got one wrong. I don't know if that's the one that I got wrong. So, okay, we'll move beyond that one since we just can't. I don't know, I think just the way they phrase the question is confusing. And then the next one that we are on that we're trying to figure out is 15. I know the answer is C because I asked the teacher. He told me it was C. I'm just trying to figure out why it's C.
Yeah, it's C. So actually I have the notes right here. I did it myself. So if you guys just bear with me.
Yeah, step by step. Go ahead.
So we have in 2015 we have $4. So this one is going to be the real thing. Let me read this. Are you saying 15? Is that correct?
15.4?
15.4%, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me help explain this over PowerPoint if I can. So what we really want to do is try and figure out the GDP defactor of the years 2016 and 2017. Well, technically, I actually went through all of them, but I can just get you to the right one because it's C. So if you guys do 4 times 120 plus 1.5 times 200, both of those together will be 780, and that will be for the 2016. 2017, 4 times 150 equals 600, plus 1.5 times 200 equals 300, and that will be 900. So then you take the 900 and you divide it by the 780, and you'll get 1.154, and technically you want to times that by 100, and that should be the 15% right there.
Okay, I'm super confused.
That
So-
came out as 115.3, I think. If you do 900 divided by 780
Yes.
times 100, that equals
Maybe not times 100, forget
115.3.
the 100 part. One moment.
I think you're supposed to divide the nominal over the real.
Yeah.
The nominal over the real.
So the nominal over the real for me for 2016 makes it 112.8. And then the nominal over the real for 2017 is 138.9. That's what I got. And that's why I don't know.
I really wish I could like show you guys my notes, but they're all on paper.
Well, you have to find out what it is for 2016 and 2000. We've got, yeah. And the output grew by how much?
Did he give you an explanation in the email or he just gave you the answer?
No explanation. I asked to meet with him online to help me understand it. And he just has a very busy schedule. I met with a tutor, but she also did not know how to figure this one out.
But I think Bryson made sense. Because if you only want to know the increase in output, you need to calculate the real GDP. And if the answer is 1.154, then that means that it increased by 15%.
Yes.
So C would make sense.
So why is it?
Explain that again?
So
The
you
question
can go.
asks us to calculate the growth in output, not in price increase or anything else, which means we only need to find the real GDP because that calculates the increase in output.
Okay, so how'd you do the math on that?
I mean, I struggled with this one, but it made sense when Bryson explained. And if he got 1.154, then that would make sense, because the output would be the real GDP output would be 1.154 times higher in 2017 compared to 2016, using the prices of 2015, because that's the base year.
So we already know that we are doing real GDP here because there is a base year of 2015. So that's where I got my $4, and that's where I got my 150 for all those years. So that way we're taking into account of inflation. So that means it wouldn't be like super high or anything like that, but of an increase. But basically, you're just trying to figure out the growth between 2016 and 2017 in real GDP.
Is this after you calculate the?
I figured it out.
Yes?
Yes, I figured it out.
Okay.
We're making this so much harder than it has to be. This is so easy. So you just find the real GDP number for all of them. Well, for the 2 years, for 2016, 2017, just like you did. And so you have 780 for 2016, and you have 900 for 2017. How did it grow from 780 to 900? What is the percent growth? So you take the difference, you do 900 minus 780 divided by 780. And that gives you your percent.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to do the what is it? The deflector of just the real when we're doing an output growth.
Not the deflector, just the real GDP.
Oh, okay.
The deflector is nominal divided by real, I think. So this is just the change in real GDP between 2016 and 2017.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you, Anita?
Kind of, not really. I'm just confused because I thought we were when you take like the 4 times 100 plus the 150 times 180, like for that 2015, isn't that the nominal?
Yeah, but this one, they're only asking the output. The output is how much product, and nominal only measures difference like in pricing. So nominal will give you an idea of pricing difference. Output means product. And so that's why you use the real number equation, because real shows you the difference. If you keep the price the same, how much has the product of sales grown? So that's why you do real. So if we do the real then for 2016 and 2017, you can see how much they sold based on the same price level for 1 year and the next year. So you think, okay, well, if I sold 8 this year and 10 next year, and my price didn't change, how much did I grow from 8 to 10?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just confused on the name real GDP because I thought the real GDP is when you calculate that price times the quantity plus the price times the quantity,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a dollar number. And now you're saying that we take to get the real GDP, you're taking those numbers and dividing them by one another.
Well, the real GDP, it is a dollar. It is a dollar amount because, well, it's how much product you sold. It's what you made off of selling your product. And so you're taking the original price from the base year, you're multiplying it by the quantity. So if your quantity is growing, does that make sense?
But you did, it's a deflator formula because you're taking the one quantity by the other quantity and you're dividing it by 100. Okay. I don't know what formula that one is. Okay.
I wonder if we even had I'm going to try something really quick. 1 second. 120.
So the formula that you're doing then is the inflation rate formula. Is that right? And that's the only thing in the book. Sorry. I'm just trying to understand this because we have an exam this week and I feel like I'm going to bomb it. So the formula that I think you're using, which it seems like you are, is the one that says GDP deflator in year 2 minus GDP deflator in year 1 divided by that same year 1 times 100. Is that right?
That would be the inflation, I think.
This kind of is inflation. It's measuring how much you grew, but it's not inflation because you're not saying how the value of a dollar has changed.
So how did you guys get that formula? How did you know to use that specific formula? Because the formula that you're using, sorry, I don't mean to be complicated. I'm just trying to understand. Because what you're using is essentially what you use to get a deflator. Isn't that what it is?
Deflator, you use both nominal and real GDP, but now you just use real GDP.
Yeah, I understand that. How did you guys know to use? I guess I'm not making sense. It's okay. We can move on.
You're making sense, but for me, it wasn't about, okay, which formula am I going to choose for this? That's what screwed me up on this assignment and on the midterm. I already took the midterm. I didn't vomit, but I was so focused on formulas. Think common sense. They're saying countries output. Output is product. Products would go under the category of quantity, right? And so you're thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and find it's telling you to go for the real. It's telling you at the top. Let's see. If they're giving you a base year, that means they want you to find the real number. They're not going to tell you a base year unless they want you to use that information for some reason. And so for me, I just read the question like, well, output. We're trying to make this about something that's not output. We're trying to pull a nominal and stuff. And nominal is about pricing. It's not about output. And
Okay.
so I was trying to think, okay, if I can simplify it and make it based on the product itself.
Okay. I just didn't realize the difference, or I wasn't paying attention to the difference between real and nominal. Okay, sorry. We can move on.
No
Wait,
problem.
can you go back to 9?
Yep.
Because that's the one that we weren't. No. I have a question mark, but I think we figured it out. Never mind.
Okay, number 16. A country reported nominal GDP of $115 billion in 2010 and $125 billion in 2009. It also reported a GDP deflator of 85 in 2010 and 100 in 2009. Between 2009 and 2010, I put B, real output rose and the price level fell.
Me too.
I put
16B.
Sweet, good. All right, 17. We're almost there, guys. This country's inflation rate from 2010 to 2011 was. Oh, I'm trying to figure out where I wrote my answer. I have all the notes.
I choose B.
Was it B? I'm trying to find the answer.
I got B.
Okay. Anita, you good with that?
Sorry, which one? Sorry, I was reading something.
That's okay. Number 17.
I got B. Is that what you guys got?
Very good. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's my answer. I see it. Okay. 18 from 1975 to 1976. The inflation was 50% and output did not grow.
B.
Well, I know I got one wrong for sure, so that could be. I have no idea.
What did you put for 13? Because I know what it is.
13.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know what it is? It's
Because
finding the book.
No, I did some research.
Oh, I put A.
Okay, it's A. It means you got another one wrong.
So I might have gotten 18 wrong. I have no idea.
So what did you? I didn't put anything for 18 because I didn't understand this whole. Because I did the 120 minus 100 divided by 100 times 100, and that was 20. And I don't know how it would have been 25% or 50%.
Actually, I do have 25%. I don't know why I chose C. 150 minus 120 divided by 120 times 100 equals 25%. Is that what you guys did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Why
got
did I put
25%.
C? Oh my gosh, I bombed my quiz for no reason.
What is it?
B?
How do we know though that the output grew?
Yeah, I don't know how to figure it. Can you guys tell me how to calculate this one? Sorry.
I actually wrote down a question on my notes saying, how do you know output grew? Because I didn't know the answer to that either.
I actually
'Cause
had
I
the
tried-
exact same question right there, the output, but I got the 25% at least.
How did you get the 25%?
So basically, you take nominal GDP and you figure out all of those numbers basically there, and then real GDP, you figure out those numbers, and then what you'll do is you take the two final numbers, and then you will get the GDP deflator, and then you will get the percentage increase between year 1975 and year 1976, and that should be 25%.
Okay.
Does that make
So
any
I
sense?
think the second part is the same as that other question that we just worked on. We have to find the real number, and then we need to subtract the real number from year to year and divide it by the previous year to find out the growth rate. That's just, we have to do the same thing we did on the other problem. Does that make sense? So we would do 100 for GDP, GDP deflator equals the nominal 2,000 over X, because we don't know what the real is. So
Yeah.
then you would do basically 2,000 divided by 100 equals X.
Because that's what I did, but I got the same numbers on 1975 and 1976, which would indicate that it didn't grow.
Yeah.
Is that correct? It grew between 74 and 75.
Yeah, the grew on 5 there.
And between 76 and 77, I believe. But not between 75 and 76.
Yeah, you're right. It stayed the same for 75 to 76. It stayed at 25. And then grew to 30. So from 75 to 76, it did not grow. The answer would have to be A.
What did you originally put on the exam?
I think I put C. I'm not positive because my answer I wrote down was 25%. So I don't know why I would have said C when I knew it was 25%. Right now, if I had to do it again, I would say A.
What would the unit be when you divide the nominal by the GDP deflator?
You would just do, you would just do nominal divided by GDP deflator to get the number for each one. You get the real number.
And,
all right, is that what you did, where you got 20, 25, 25, and 30?
mm-hmm. But what does the 25 represent, if that makes sense?
That represents the real number. Because if you take the GDP deflator equation, that equation is nominal divided by real times 100 equals GDP deflator.
Oh, so if you would divide by the GDP deflator and then multiply by 100, you would get the real number.
Let's see if I did.
Or the real GDP. Because then the real GDP would be 2,500.
Yeah, you're right.
On both.
You get to do times that 100, you're right.
Which means the output did not increase. Because that would kind of make sense. Because what else would we do with these two numbers, the nominal and the deflator?
Yeah.
If we wouldn't just divide them by each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that times 100.
Okay. So the real GDP would be 2,500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those years. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Does everyone else understand that one?
I'm really lost today, so I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to keep looking at it.
I think I got
if you
it.
don't, we can help you. What was that?
I think I got it.
Did you get it?
The only problem that I was having was the output on like why it didn't grow or why it did, but then I'm realizing that when you take the actual price and divide it by the GDP deflator, then it equals just the same 25-25. So I realize that's where you got those numbers.
So Anita, the formula is GDP deflator equals nominal divided by real times 100.
Yeah.
So this is algebra. Plug in the information that you do have. You do have the GDP deflator numbers. You plug that in. And you have the nominal number. You plug that in. And you have the 100 number. You plug that in. So now you're just solving for real. So you have to get real by itself in that formula. And then once you have that, then
I got 2,000 for 1974. Is that what you guys got? And then 1975, I got 2,500. So what am I doing with this?
same thing. You do 1976. The only years that matter are 1975 and 1976 because it's asking you for those 2 years.
Okay, I thought it was asking for 74 and 75. Okay, so once I get those numbers, then what am I doing? I guess that's
So then you see, did it grow from 1975 to 1976? Did the real number grow? Because remember, real means output.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do this and figure it out. Okay. Okay, we can move on. It's fine.
Okay. 19, GDP per person tells us the income and expenditure of the C average person in the economy.
Yep.
C.
20, the underground economy, C, includes otherwise legal transactions that go unreported or unrecorded. I do not like the way they worded that. Otherwise legal. Why would you not just say illegal? That is, to me, it's a play of words, and I think that it should say includes illegal transactions that go unreported, because that's what it is.
It's talking about legal transactions, and so it includes legal transactions that aren't criminal, but that just
But they are criminal, because if you're earning income under the table, that is criminal. If you're doing prostitution, selling drugs, that's what the underground economy is selling drugs, prostitution. Like construction workers, they'll make a bunch of cash money and they won't claim it. They'll just tell someone pay me in cash, and then they don't claim it on taxes.
Sorry, you guys got what on that? Are you guys?
C.
Okay.
But anyway, that was just me complaining. I felt that their way of phrasing that was off.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, then we're done, guys. Anita, do you have any other questions? Are you good?
No.
Is it okay if I go through the other 14 or 13 or 1?
Sorry, I couldn't be more involved today.
No worries. We understand. You gotta make money. You get that. 13 then I would say is A, because the one that I got wrong I think was 18. For the midterm, I would suggest you guys really try to understand GDP, understand trading markets. That's kind of important.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. I'm going to go back for one. Number 18. So I got that there's no change and that they're same amount. So then how do you get the 25% again?
The 25% was the 150 GDP deflator minus the 120 GDP deflator, which is, you would just consider that your base year divided by the 120 GDP.
Wait, sorry, can you go back?
Actually, the base year is 1974, but they're only asking for 75 and 76. So you would do the 150 minus 120 divided by 120 times 100.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Good luck on your midterms this week.
It's
not that terrible.
Over the first few questions that I missed?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Go ahead. Why don't you tell us what you have?
Okay. I got 1 B, 2 D.
Did you say C?
D.
D2 is C.
Okay. 3, I guessed C on this one.
A.
A.
And number 4, I guessed A.
Yes.
5B.
Yep.
6D.
What did you say for 6?
6D.
D as in boy?
A D as in dog.
Oh, yes, that's what we have too.
7C.
Yep.
8C.
Yep.
9B.
Yep.
10B.
Yep.
11A.
Yep.
12D.
D as in dog?
Dog. Yeah.
Okay.
And then 14, I got D.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me see those ones that I missed.
Okay. Right. You guys ready for me to stop the broadcast? Yep.